It's been said that every quilt tells a story, and it's so true. But I also believe every quilter has a story to tell. I wanted to hear about the people behind these wonderful quilts and thought you'd enjoy hearing about their lives also. Welcome to A Quilter's Life. Well, I hope you enjoyed listening to all the thankful notes the past 3 weeks from the guest of 2024 on A Quilter's Life. I sure enjoyed getting to hear everyone's thankful notes. On this episode, Guthrie and I are going to have a chat and talk about what we were thankful for this year. Hey Guthrie, what were you thankful for in 2024?
There's just so many things, Paula. Just living here at our ancestral home, a wonderful wife certainly is a blessing to me. A good job that provides our employment, having our own business that also provides and supplements that. Being able to have my podcast, The Wisdom Trek, and just having our kids and grandkids where we get together with them and have communication with them on a continual basis. It's really nice having our grown kids as our friends and even our grandkids, having them around and being able to see them has been such a blessing. Another thing is being able to minister at church as the teaching pastor there throughout the year has been really a blessing to me.
And it's been so much fun getting to work along with you in our business and at church. This year, the church started Sunday school back up. After COVID, we didn't have Sunday school for the last couple years. So we started that back up, and I get to work in that ministry. So that's fun, too.
Yeah, and I really enjoy that we're able to work together in the ministry where you prepare the children's messages that correspond or tie into the main message. So our children are learning the same lessons as the adults are, and it's really nice to coordinate that with you and be able to just work together, not only in our business, which is always a joy, but also at church.
Anything else?
Well, we do have a new grandchild this year, so that's been a real blessing. I think the first week of August, he was born, and that makes number 8 for us. So 8 grandchildren from our 5 children. It's been a real blessing, and they range in ages from just a few months old now up to 16.
Yeah, and he's starting to drive.
Yes, starting to drive, and just seeing them grow. Our oldest 2 grandchildren or grandsons, just seeing them to grow into young men, and just a great job our children are doing raising our grandchildren, which is a real blessing.
Yes, it is.
Okay, Paula, tell me something that you're thankful for this year.
Well, of course, I'm thankful for family and church, and especially thankful that you listen to each episode of A Quilter's Life, even to help me where I don't know if people noticed that part of the episode was missing 3 weeks ago for the first episode of Thankful Notes, and you were able to tell me about that quickly so I could get in there and correct it.
Yeah, I really enjoy listening to your episodes. Their human interest on the lives of quilters and being able to see how many of them have gone through various issues in life, and quilting is tied into all of them. So I really enjoy listening to those every week.
Yeah, and it has been wonderful working with you at the church. It's good to coordinate the children's sermon with your sermon and then have the kids downstairs for Sunday school each week.
Yeah, and just the job you're doing with the children. And last Sunday they sang a Thanksgiving song. So it was really a great time listening to the kids and what they're learning each week.
They're great kids.
Yes, they are.
And then I am so thankful for the friends at church and many of the listeners of this podcast. Now in July, most of you know I started having a medical problem. We didn't know what it was. It ended up being diagnosed as Tolosa-Hunt syndrome. During that time, I wasn't able to keep up my weekly podcast, but not only were many of you praying for me, but you sent me notes letting me know that it was okay for me not to get an episode out every week, that I could still do it and you would be there later. So I just so appreciate all of you that reached out and let me know everything was okay. I am feeling much better, especially the last couple days. I do have an MRI in the morning to see how this is going, and I will be sharing on social media my progress, but hopefully this will be in the past very soon.
Yes, we certainly are praying for that and hoping that everything will be improving, continuing to improve.
I also wanted to say how thankful I was to be able to attend QuiltCon this past year. That was my first time to go to a big quilt conference like that. And it was so exciting to meet many of the people I had interviewed and also meet some potential interviewees, and I interviewed them since the conference. So that was just great. I was on cloud 9 all week.
Yeah, it was really a good conference. I'm thankful to be able to tag along with you and drop you off in the mornings and pick you up in the evenings, and then accompany you on the last day for the trade show. It was really exciting for me to see all the trade booths and just to see you in action among the quilters there and interacting with them and setting up some interviews and just introducing yourself. So that was really exciting for me to be able to do so.
It was a fun week.
A couple other blessings that we've had is this year is when our oldest son's son, one of our grandchildren, he lives out in El Paso, so we don't get to see him real often, but every summer he comes and spends some time with us. And this last summer, he was able to spend an entire 6 weeks with us, which was a real blessing just to have him here and share in his life and invest in his upbringing a little bit and he investing into our lives.
Yeah, it was so much fun to have him here. He stayed up late with me.
Ate plenty of junk food. You know, you can get away with that at Granny and Gramps'. You can't get away with your parents, so that was neat.
But we also got to go on field trips with him and take some of the other grandchildren and a niece that lives nearby.
Yes, which is really neat that last couple summers we've gotten into some historical sites around the area, and he really seems to enjoy it. We have a long heritage in our family, not only tied to this area, but going back to the founding of the country. So it's really nice to share that with him and see the excitement that he has learning these things.
Yeah, that was a great time.
Yes.
Well, until I'm cleared from the doctor, I'm not able to travel to more conferences. I'm not allowed to go on an airplane right now. So I continue to ask for prayers that this will all clear up and I'll be able to get out there and visit more quilters.
Yes, we're looking forward to some of the other conferences that quilting has. They're just so all-encompassing, so big, and so many people involved in such a neat industry.
Yeah. Well, again, I want to thank you so much for listening to this podcast. These are stories I wanted to hear myself. I enjoy so much visiting with each and every guest I have. I love hearing all about them and anything that they share with us. And if you're listening now and you haven't had the opportunity to share your story, I want to hear it.
I'd love to hear it also because I think the stories are so neat. So please contact Paula if you're able to be interviewed.
Please do. I have 3 episodes for the next 5 weeks, so I don't know if the other 2 weeks will be filled or not. But thank you again for listening, and happy Thanksgiving. You can find more stories on aquilterslife.com or subscribe on your favorite podcast player so each episode will be downloaded automatically. Also, I want to hear about you and your wonderful quilts. Please contact me, Paula Chamberlain, through the website to set up an interview. And as always, thanks for listening.